Hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday. It's the end of a week and not the end of a month, the beginning of a new month. So, time to get on and talk about how I did in Etsy for the previous month. So, for those of you that are joining me in the replay or are new here, every month I look at my Etsy stats to see how a small shop like me's been getting on through the month. This is, as you'll see, very much not a brag. This is just hopefully give you all a little bit of inspiration that you can do it, what actual real sales are like, how growth is like. I'm not any kind of an expert on anything really. I'm just a normal person bumbling along and learning as I go. And hopefully just a little further along in the journey, and I can help you all with what I've learnt as well. And excuse any crazy noises, winter just hit, so just turned my heating on and it's groaning. The dogs and me are a bit soaked from a walk, so Ben is noisily giving himself a bath right next to me. But I hope everyone's had an awesome week. If you just want to let me know in the chat what you've been up to, what's been good, what's been bad, and we'll see if anyone turns up. It's getting on for that time of year where rather than being out having fun, it's much better to be snuggled up on the sofa and yeah, hanging out with friends. So hopefully I've got this live working and I'm not just talking to myself. No, it looks like we're working, so awesome. So I hope everyone had a great week. I just thought I'd tell you the little story as well of my latest bad customer. And before I get into that, I just want to say people shy away from Etsy or leave Etsy or don't sell online because they're afraid of bad customers. And I'll tell you, most customers are wonderful. I've sold over 1,000 little um, individual sculptures to people, and out of that 1,000, most of them have been lovely. I've had about 2 rubbish ones. So I didn't tell you, some of you will know, some of my Facebook friends will know this, but I just wanted to share another one of the bad ones. This was happening last week, and I didn't, last week or the week before, 2 weeks ago, and I didn't want to bring it up then, but enough time's passed, I'm all nice and calm now. But just literally, I do customize sculptures of people's pets. Paper Crane Wishes, hello, how are you doing? I do custom sculptures of people's pets, and the process is pretty simple. Someone purchases one of my custom listings, they send me pictures of what they want me to make for them. I make it, obviously asking if there's anything I need to know. I make it for them and send them pictures, and if they're happy with it, I send it to them. If they're not, then I make changes until they're happy with it, basically. But this customer, I had completed her order, sent her pictures, and I didn't hear a word from her. More coffee. It's good stuff. I've put hazelnut sugar-free syrup in it as a wee treat, and it's really nice. So I didn't hear anything from her, yay or nay, whether she was happy with the dog that I'd made for her. And then after a couple of weeks, it comes up the shipping date that I have to send from Etsy. So as I couldn't get hold of her and I'd already made the work, I'd already made the dog, then I sent it. And I heard nothing for another month, not a thing, so I figured everything's okay. And then the Saturday evening, I was going out to meet some friends I hadn't seen for absolutely ages, so I was on the bus with some patchy Wi-Fi, and I got a message. I just saw a message, so I quickly looked at it, and it said, I'm not happy with this dog. How do I go about getting a refund? And I couldn't reply to her because the Wi-Fi was too patchy. I was just able to grab the messages. And then 10 minutes later, what's the address for me to send it back, was the next message. And I thought, oh goodness. And then 5 minutes later, she opened up a case on Etsy with me. This is my very first ever case wanting a refund. I was like, oh goodness. And I could have thought this, it's in my policies that I did exactly what my policies state. There's no refunds for custom orders. So while I was trying to put this out of my mind while I was out with friends that I haven't seen for ages, but I was trying to decide what to do. and I could have fought it. That yeah, there was this thought process to dig my heels in, but I have to say I actually just decided, and it made me feel so much better. And I know it'll annoy some people. We should stand up for our policies, but I just figured this is the second one that's been awkward in over 1,000. I just figured I didn't want her actually owning my sculpture, so I just cancelled the sale. I got her to return it to me, which she did, and I cancelled the sale. So all nice and happy, still 100% happy customers because I refused to have her as my customer. So that's what I did with that. Oh, Paper Crane, yeah, you've been there as well. There's always gonna be bad ones, and I know it's so easy to see all the reviews, people commenting about what terrible customers they've had, but 1 in 500, and there's been such lovely customers. I mean, I've literally been through births, deaths, and marriages with people, so there's just such wonderful people out there. It's hard not to let these one small percent drag you down. So I just figured it's much easier, just ditch them, just keep in your happy place, keep creating. Right, so let us have a look at my shop stats for the month. There have been on Etsy, if you haven't been following along, I've been trying to make sense of this Ultimate Guide to SEO that Etsy put out a couple of weeks ago. And I know people are freaking out and they're trying to make hundreds of changes in their shop and talking about, is this causing their shop to die? All sorts of things. So I just wanted to make sure that I showed my stats for this month so you could see what's happened. Am I dying off? And I'll let you know, I've changed one of my listings. I did one live for a video, but I haven't changed any of my other listings yet. I'm looking into my stats, I'm deciding what to do, but my SEO was already good, so good SEO is good SEO. I was never keyword stuffing. I was trying to follow the best practices anyway, so I don't really have to change much. But let's see how my month did. So here is my Etsy stats page for the month. Oh, hang on, let's put it down for last month. So how did we do for the month of September? A really interesting thing, first of all, you can see this spike here. This spike is a spike in total views, is actually on the day that or round about the day that Etsy released their Ultimate Guide to SEO. So did everything die off? Very much no. Oh, there isn't a big increase in my total visits, so actually people were coming to my shop and having a poke around. That was a good day of people having an extra look around in my shop. But as you can see, there's a dip here because there was a problem. I think that was the day Etsy was down. I can't remember. There's a problem with stats. So the change happened about here. And as you can see, my visits, my views haven't dropped off. They're not stable. People freak out and go, oh, my views are low for today. That doesn't matter. Just look at the trend over time. And the trend over time, I'd say after about the first 10 days of the month, there's been an upturn. That's quite an increase there in the amount of visits. And my views look like they're sort of on an upturn, or at least they're not dropping. So I'm happy with that. And if we look year on year, my total views are up nearly 30% and my visits 23% up on last year. So with me doing nothing for all these changes, my shop certainly hasn't died. So happy with that. And let's have a look at the money. the bit that some people hate seeing about, some people love. But I like putting it in. September is kind of historically a bit of a low month. It's like June, July, August, September are never the very best. So I'm pretty happy with this. 10 orders in the month and just under £500 for the month. So pretty cool. And for people who haven't been here before, this Etsy isn't my full-time living. I have other jobs. So for a part-time income, that's pretty cool. And In general, I would say you probably shouldn't be relying on any one thing if you're self-employed. You shouldn't just be relying 100% on each seat. See if you can expand. Don't have all your eggs in the one basket. Really good coffee. Right, so let's have a quick comparison to last year as well. So 25% increase in orders and 54% increase in revenue on last year. That is really pretty awesome. Especially so many shops are talking about sales have dropped, and I say this so often. There are always people talking about sales have dropped. In the main, what's happened is these are people who have been lucky to get to the front page for a very broad term, something like ring. If you're on the front page for that, that's a very searched for term, and so it can happen that you get quite a lot of sales. It's like the old days when there used to be a front page on Etsy. If you were on the front page, you would do amazing. I got on the front page 3 or 4 times, and it was terrifying and fun. You were on the front page for something like 8 hours, and sales, sales, sales. It was bonkers, but you can't rely on that. That's a short-term thing. That's a wee boost for your shop. So these people who've been on the front page for a really searched for term, that's not a guaranteed thing. It's more, it's less fun, it's more stressful for us to build up organic growth, to be nice and slow, get on very specific search terms and be found there, have people come back to you. That kind of growth is sustainable. If you see a big jump, then just be expecting you're probably going to see a big fall. Alright, let's have a look at how we've done for a year. I like looking at 12 months. 12 months is pretty cool to see trends and everything. So there is me over the 12 months, and as you can see, well, last October was only like £300, and we've just said I've got like £500 for this September. But as you can see, October is a little flat. What you actually see is the start of the month was dead and then it went crazy. But November and December have a tendency to be frightening. If you're doing well, if your SEO is good, that's the time. Anywhere online, it's the peak shopping time, it's the peak viewing time, so it's likely to be a bit bonkers. But let's compare to the year before, and that's a 17% increase on the 12 months before, so I'm totally happy with that. And if we look, so the year before for the October was doing a little bit better, but for the past few months, what have we had? From May, every single month has done better than the May before, so that's pretty cool. So good. Right, I also want to have a wee look at the promoted listings because there's something interesting here. Promoted listings. A couple of months ago I did a wee test. Can we have a look? See if this will show up. That doesn't look too great, but a couple of months ago I did a wee test where I put my cost per click, it must have been about there. I put my cost per click from 5 cents a listing up to 10 cents to see how that would change things. And what I found, can we get a shorter? Let's get a shorter date. What should we go for? Let's do June to now. That doesn't give us very nice stats. Anyway, right. So what I discovered, it took about 5 days for my views to build up to what I wanted them to what I expected them to be. It went from what was normal number of impressions and then it increased over 5 days. It wasn't immediate. But what I've been seeing lately, if we have a look here, the cost, since the middle of September, I've pretty much been hitting my limit is $2 per day in advertising. I don't want to pay more than that. and I've been peaking out at that $2 a day, so my ads have been turning off. And also, my usual cost per revenue is about 10%. So if I'd spent $50, I would be expecting to make about $500. But I've spent $50 and only made $300 in promoted listings. So I'm kind of not happy with that as well. The increase in the cost per click was just a trial anyway to see what happens. But yeah, I'm right up on my budget, and I'll show you what this means, because this is a big deal. Let's pick a single day. Let's go the 7th. Will that give me what I'm wanting? Oh, that's not showing. Right, hang on. This isn't showing what I thought. What it was showing me the other day. Have I picked the right date? Oh, for goodness sake, I'm an idiot. That's the problem. Because that's weeks ago. Excuse me, I'm a total idiot. That's today. We don't want the 7th. So 4th. I clearly need more sleep. Right. Yes, so here is a very good example of this. That was lucky, but pretty good. So you can see my cost was at $2, and it hit that $2. I got to $2 by lunchtime, by 12 o'clock. And let me show you what that does to the impressions. So I'm getting impressions in the morning, and then at 12 o'clock my adverts switch off. So I'm peaking out at $2, and then my adverts are switched off for the day. So it's costing me more to get these impressions, and I'm not getting seen in the busiest time of the day. So I have dropped my cost per click down to 5 cents a listing, which means I should be able to get twice the number of clicks. So hopefully my adverts will stay on for longer. But I just wanted to share that with you guys. It's why it's good to experiment. Now, I could increase my cost, my top line, what I'm spending every day, but I just don't want to do that. I think $2 a day for the advertising is fine, because I can't actually make any more sales than I'm making just now. I'm kind of topped out at where I am. I have a little supply of tiny bodies parked up next to me, so I can't make any more than I'm making. So I don't want to actually increase this. So dropping the price, it's hopefully going to mean that what's going to happen is I might not get so many impressions early on in the day, but at lunchtime, when the people who are doing what I was doing run out of money, then my adverts are going to be seen from lunchtime into the evening, the main shopping time, the time when people are searching with money in their pockets to spend. So fingers crossed, I should get a bit more sales. Anyway, I hope that helped just give some ideas there. Anyway, as I say, just something I noticed. I'd been tracking that and playing around with my price and promoted listings, and that's what you want to do. Don't just set up your promoted listings and totally leave it. Set it up and check and see if it's doing what you hope it's doing, and if it's not, change it again, and then come back in a couple of weeks, come back in a month, and make sure it's still doing what you planned for it to do. Right, so let's finish up with a little bit. We've not been looking at artwork for a wee while. We had to look at cats. Let's have a look at dragons. I like dragons. What should I go on? Instagram, I think. Let's jump on Instagram and do a search for dragons. Oh, should be sharing my screen again, because I like dragons. That might give us ideas. Not a shop. How do I search for Just there we go, hashtag dragons. Let's just have a wee search for ideas for dragons, and most of them are going to be from How to Train Your Dragon. But just some ideas, hopefully, for later, for ideas for things to make. I think I have to do a dragon season at some point. Coffee done. Right. So if anyone sees any dragons they want a close-up look at, give me a yell and we'll have a bit more of a nosy. Why is there a person when I'm searching for dragons? This is not as cool as some of the other searches. I have to say that I was hoping. Right, should we do dragon art? Anyone go? I'm rubbish at searching on Instagram. Right, does dragon art exist? It seems to. Is this better? This might be better. There we go, some dragons. So if you see anything you want a closer look at, give me a yell. If you see anything you think we should be making, give me a yell. Yeah, nothing massively inspiring yet. Come on, Instagram, you can do better than this. Think of, is that from a game or something? I was going to say. No, it looks like it's someone saying it's their drawing. Okay. I thought it was from a game. I thought I recognised it. I do have the black dragon that we looked at a few months ago that I've got to do a video of some point, but I haven't got around to that yet because we're in cat season just now. It's cute stuff. It's not as mind-blowing as I thought. I'm searching for the wrong terms, clearly. Come on, get dragons. Okay, let's just Google this. Let's Google images. Don't let me down. That's better. I love it. It gives you these choices. So Night Fury, Crystal, but then real life. Sorry to tell you, Google. I wish, unfortunately, but nope. Moonveil Dragon. These are cooler. I like this. Right, so it gives a choice. Sapphire. I like the sapphire's kind of purple. Yay, blue. Bluey purple. Yay. It's really cool. It lets you pick through colours. And again, mythical. Yes, they're all mythical, Google. That's the point. Still not seeing anything I want to make. Right, let's sculptures. Right, let's see if there's anything better. Is it just me? I'm not being inspired today, but we've looked at other stuff and gone like, wow, this is all amazing. It's kind of cool. That one looks good. Kim Rhodes. Very. I should do more detail in the needle felting. I love the idea of putting in more texture like this. I'll have to figure out how to do it, but that does look really awesome. I might add that to the to-do list. That's very cool. Yay, finally finding stuff I like the look of. And a purple one. I like purple, if you hadn't guessed. Hoarfrost dragon statue. That's cool. And now that I've got the what do I call it? The water dissolving paper that we got from the makers that did the butterfly wing, then I think I can do better dragon wings to get something a little more fine and pretty like that with more detail in it. Anna Foxy Style, hi there, how you doing? Good to see you. Oh, I like the colours in this. Black, gold. Yeah, that's really cool colours. We're getting better. We're finally getting something that I like the look of. I'm so fussy. That's kind of cool with its wings wrapped around an egg. But yeah, I like the detail in the wings, so that's maybe an idea to try and practice with that using the water-soluble paint paper to be able to felt something finer. Or, well, I think of different ways to make finer wings. I'm sure just some kind of, even like mesh might be good. A fine, I don't know the names of fabrics, but a fine something that I can felt onto a little bit, and yeah, we'll think of something. We'll think of something. And now that I know that I can put the sculptures in the oven with Fimo on them, then we can do claws and horns and details and things. I think that would look really cool. Oh wow! Yeah, here's a good one. That's a sand sculpture. How cool is that? It's like a sand dragon coming out and eating someone who's building sandcastles on the beach. But that is amazing. I could never even build a sandcastle all that well, and they've. But how is it holding itself up? That is amazing. And there's some more here. There's some more. How cool is that? There's like a guy sitting in a seat and a dragon curled up. It's like Smog or something curled up over his hoard of treasure. But no, I have to go back to this one because that is just how? How on earth do you do that? So amazing. I like climb. Maybe I should do a climby dragon. I like that. Sort of more oriental style, but could get a piece of wood or something for it to climb up. Yeah, that's very cool. Right, climby dragon. That's going to happen. I don't know when this dragon series will happen. So much other things. I think this is the person that we saw the black dragon from. That looks very much like her stuff. It's like a kind of cheetah dragon. That is so cool. Pauline, hi there. How are you doing? Good to see you. They are so cute. Stuff blocking it. Anna loves dragons too. Just thinking about the new dragon jewelry collection. Oh, dragon jewelry, awesome. I had some things. No, that was a cat though. But I've had some dragon necklaces and things. But dragon jewelry, awesome. Always gonna like that. What else have we got? Come on, good stuff. Is there a link to get back to that woman with her clay stuff? Well, there's more related images. Wow, what a gathering of dragons. I mean, sometimes I do wish I did more polymer clay stuff because you can do it's not super quickly, it's not dead easy, but you can sit down and have something really bright and colourful and finished, whereas like doing a whole dragon would probably take me a week. But they are so cute. Yeah, I want to make some like that. They are so cool. Marissa, hi there. The sand sculptures were amazing. Totally blown away. People are just so clever. Yeah, I think this is the same, but the cats, oh, that is so cute. Her stuff is awesome. Right, can we... Oh, it's on DeviantArt by the looks of things. So cute. I'm trying to find the name of this person so we can see some more of them. Oh, that looks like the dragon's dice keeper. Dice dragons for gamers. I don't know much. I've never gamed, strangely enough. I know lots of people do. I never got into it, and now that I'm older, my friends who are gamers, it's like the reverse thing. People used to laugh at gamers and be they're a bit nerdy and stuff, but now people who are gamers laugh at non-gamers and say they don't want to play with us and they won't show us how to play. So there we go. We get laughed at for being non-gamers. They are so cute. I need to make some dragons right now. Oh, that is adorable. I don't know if they're showing up that big on my screen. Anyway, let's nosy. Let's find some more. Oh, that's kind of clever. So you've just got it's like Loch Ness Monster. You've got bits of the dragon just, or I don't know if that's a work in progress, but it's cool. I like work in progress. Yeah, yeah, I've seen this. This is a YouTube video. I actually have a link to it in some of my videos. I have a playlist with dragons and included him in it because I was totally inspired with how he made his dragon. It's a polymer clay dragon in the end, but it's so useful for doing the bigger sculptures to look at how the polymer clay people do these things. So I was quite inspired by him. And if it's, I'm pretty sure it's the one I'm thinking of. So he did all that, and then he decided he wanted it to be three-headed. So he kind of, when he's halfway through, ripped out a bit of the neck and added some more heads. I thought, yeah, here it is. Yeah, here's part of how he was working on it. It was very cool, very great dragon. Is that the final? That's before he painted it. Great work in polymer clay. But I think we can get ideas from polymer clay into the needle felting. And it actually works better because he had a lot of trouble like keeping the wings. You can just see there's a wire there, keeping the wings supported before he baked them. Whereas our needle felted stuff is so light that it's really easy. Come on, cool dragons, don't disappoint me. Not YouTube, Google. Oh, that's kind of cool. There's more of a snake than a dragon, but very cool kind of sculpture out in the wild. Don't know how well it will last. Or, well, it might be cool if it kind of gets weathered. Oh, baby dragons hatching. That's something we could definitely do. Probably do a kind of felt along with a baby dragon coming out of an egg. That would be cool. Oh, I'm just hearing the weather outside is getting worse. The winds are getting up and it's raining everywhere. It's revolting. That is very, yeah, I can see you could do scales. You have to make them separate, so maybe wet felt or use a pre-felt or something. But scales would be really cool. Yeah, shouldn't be too difficult. Give that a try. I'm glad I'm inside. It's vile outside. Has it become autumn where you guys are? Well, and some of you might be the other side of the world. It might be becoming summer. So, not to talk about weather, but how's the weather with you guys? Yesterday was beautiful. It was like a proper lovely autumn day, and today, nope. Don't want to leave the house. Although the dogs are perfectly happy to be out and about. Ben's just trying, he's trying not to fall asleep. I wish I could show you, but he's sitting there with his head just kind of up and the eyes are closed. It's like, I'm not sleeping, honest. Come on, cool dragons. Anyway, guys, I think we've run out of cool dragons there. So this is just going to be a quick stream today, but we've had a look at how much a YouTuber makes. Oh, Mum, it's like winter with you as well. Snakes are popular on Etsy. Anna, that's interesting. Cool, I've never even looked into snakes. That's proper unexpected, but cool. Yeah. I made a snake years ago. What was it? It was, there's a Chinese, it's not really like a Chinatown, like a Chinese district, but there's a little area in Glasgow that does have a Chinese community, and they were doing an art exhibition for Oriental Chinese inspired things, and they contacted me with the idea because needle felting's considered kind of Chinese Japanese type art. I've actually looked into it and it's not at all, but it was invented by a couple of Americans. It invented it, but obviously there's people who, it's really big in some places. Over there you get a lot more kits and a lot more cool things. So they invited me along to display, and I think we had a little tiny box. It was like maybe about this big to fill with our display things. So I made all sorts of things for the Chinese zodiac, and one of them was a snake that was fun to make, and I made a Chinese dragon and rats. And Wendy's here. Hey there, how you doing, Wendy? Good to see you. I want to ask you guys, is this 4 p.m. time? Is this too early for you guys now? Because I'm noticing that it seems to be a bit harder, and well, I don't know, it might just be the time of year because I'm struggling to get out of bed. But our clocks, I think our clocks shift in a couple of weeks anyway, so this will become later. This will be an hour later, but you guys' clocks will probably change as well, so who knows. I've distracted myself. Wendy just got up. I could look all disproving and say, what kind of time do you call this? But I know you're a good few hours behind, and boy, I really was struggling to get out of bed this morning as well. Anna creates snake jewellery, but so afraid of real snakes. I've never met one in real life, but I think I would be freaked out as well. But yeah, snake jewellery sounds cool too. It's very dragony, so I approve. But yeah, it's cool that snakes are doing well. That's really not something I'd thought of, but I can see why, especially how it works in jewellery with the whole organic type. I'm talking with my hands again, stop doing that. Yeah, I can see how it works for jewellery. Wendy's daughter's been working at a haunted house, so she needs picking up at 1 a.m. How cool that! Wow, I would love to work at a haunted house. Is she she a haunted thing? Is she like a guide, or is she like a ghost or something? That sounds so much fun. The 1 a.m. finish, not so much, but yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Yeah, that sounds like my kind of thing. I don't think we have anything like that here. I seem to remember many years ago, the closest, I think, Mum will tell me if I'm lying or making stuff up, but we lived quite close to Warwick in England, where there's like a medieval castle type thing, and they used to do medieval banquets. I'm sure Mum and Dad went to one of them, and you could there was like serving wenches and people who worked there all in character and stuff, and that sounded kind of cool, but not a haunted house. She Wendy's daughter's having a blast. She's been acting. She's been a victim, so she can scream all night. Right. Okay. So your daughter's working as a victim. No, that sounds like great fun. Yeah, I love the sound of that. Cool. Yeah. I wish we did more spooky stuff here. Haunted house would be so cool. Though there are, I think Edinburgh would have like ghost tours, and I totally, when we went down to York many years ago, probably 15 years ago, I went on one of the ghost walks there, and that was so much fun. There's a guy all dressed up like Sherlock Holmes, walking us around all the places and telling us the ghost stories while we walked about, and that was so much fun. And I believe there's other ones where there are people who dress up as ghosts and jump out on you and stuff. But I liked this because they didn't have that. It was just his personality. He was telling us the tale. It was so cool. Yeah, so that was fun. And I've never been, but there is in Edinburgh, the next city over. I'm nearer Glasgow, but in Edinburgh there's supposed to be, I think, is it Rose Street? Am I making that? No, Rose Street's the street with the pubs in it. But there's a street that was supposedly all sealed up in the plague, and so it's like a preserved street that you can go and get ghost tours. You can walk around it, but and you've got to book so far in advance. And anytime I've been over, we think, oh, we should go and look at this haunted, spooky street. And yeah, we never get in, so I've never seen it, but that's supposed to be so cool. I'll have to try that some year. Um, oh, Polly's almost finished Jack Skellington. Oh, fantastic! You have to share him. I like Nightmare Before Christmas a little too much, so really up for seeing anybody's Jack Skellington sculptures. He's great fun to make. I've made quite a lot of Jacks over the year. It wasn't Warwick Castle. It was the Abbey in Coventry. Ah, cool. Wendy, we have such a rich ghost history. I'm surprised you don't have more. It's just a lot of stuff's old and people. I won't lie. I think we do make up a lot more for tourists than actually exists. I mean, like York is a very. If you've seen pictures of it, the centre of York is very kind of old feeling. It's fantastic. It's lovely, like narrow streets and the Tudor style buildings in places, and every street practically you can go down. There's York Minster Abbey, which is a big cathedral type thing. So all the streets you can go down, pretty much at the end of the street, you see this massive minster, which is awesome. But it's such an old place, and it just there's obviously going to be stories of things that happened. I mean, there is like the history of things like the plague and things. There's stories of terrible things that happened. So if people people make stories up about it, and there could be things. Who knows? Um, so yeah, but you guys have rich history of spooky stuff as well. I think anywhere that humans are, we're gonna feel spookiness. It's part of our nature to think up stories like that, or whether things have actually happened to people. I think we like to scare ourselves quite a lot, so we make them up even more. Creative living, a fellow Etsy seller here. Awesome, good to see you. So what do you sell on Etsy? Um, yeah, so we've got a few. We've got snake jewelry, selling, and me with the needle felting, and a few other needle felters as well. Wendy, it is fun scaring ourselves. Absolutely. I do wish we made more of Halloween. I don't know if I'm basing my views on America of like watching stuff off the telly, but people seem to do so much more, like decorating their house and stuff. We don't do a whole lot. Although I help out a friend at a club and we dress up for the club. I'm toying with the idea because I'm going to be sitting around doing my makeup for ages, so I might live stream my makeup just for a bit of fun, just for a bit of company. But I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. But we'll see. I mean, it was fun just doing my makeup for no reason a few weeks ago with you guys here. But actually doing my makeup when I'm supposed to be going out, that might be kind of cool. Amazing baby, hello there. Great to have you, and awesome name. Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks for joining us, everyone. Yeah, so what I'm thinking for Halloween, because the guy that runs the club was wanting to, we try and have a theme each year, and he was wanting to make it kind of satanic this year. So I'm thinking of going for a zombie nun. So I want to do like some latex work and some blood work and a lot of things. I'm not sure how well that'll go, but I might try streaming that. That could be interesting. But the thing, the dilemma I've got is it finishes an outfit to have coloured contact lenses in, but and quite rightly so, they've changed the rules on contact lenses and now they're considered sort of medical and you're supposed to go to an optician's and have a proper fitting. Over the years, I've just bought like party contact lenses and I've never had any problem. But now it's kind of, I would like the contact lenses. I'd like white lenses to finish my look. I think it looks awesome. But I'm not sure I want to spend all that extra money on getting the shape of your eyeballs sorted out, and getting a proper prescription. I don't need glasses or anything, so it's non-prescription contact lenses. So I don't know whether to get contact lenses or not. It does finish the outfit to take away the real colour of your eyes, but I don't know if I want to do that or not. Um, Creative living, handmade books, awesome. Adding new products soon. Have been here before, so know your felted goods. All right, well, good to have you back. I'm terrible at remembering names and things, so I looked and I thought, creative living. I think I remember the name, but I'm just making stuff up. You have to smack me over the head with your name like 200 times, like Wendy's constantly like Pam Pam Pam, and I'm like, oh yeah, now I remember Wendy. So yeah, I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names. I'm terrible at remembering things, but hey, I'll get there eventually. Right, yeah. So contact lenses, yay or nay? I found there's a couple of shops I can get them reasonably cheap. Um, and I've not had a problem with the cheap ones just for a night. The only one time I did Bride of Frankenstein one year. I'll see actually if I can find that because it was kind of cool and fun. I did Bride of Frankenstein and I got UV glow in the dark lenses that were amazing. I won't lie, they were so good and the look was amazing. But I kind of gave myself conjunctivitis. It wasn't it wasn't good. Um, so it was good for the look at the time, but not not good afterwards. Right, I'm just trying to find this picture and then I'll let you see. Hopefully I can find it. Oh, for goodness sake, yeah, Facebook's so slow at finding things. But here we go. Screen. Yeah, so as you can see here, here was my Bride of Frankenstein costume that I did, and the lenses, it looks like a strange kind of yellowy brown colour, which helped anyway, just look a little bit weird, but they were UV reactive and it looked so good. It was such a good outfit, but yeah, it gave me conjunctivitis for a week. I had really gunky, horrible eyes for a week, but none of the rest of them affected me at all. So it's a kind of gamble. I've changed the colour of my eyes plenty of times, but I don't want to spend a fortune. I'll show you one of the other ones because I just passed it a minute ago. Let's come on, Facebook. It was there. It was there. Come on. Right, here's another one. So the clown one I did there, you can see on what was my left eye, right on your screen, there was a white lens, and the other side there was a kind of swirly red and white lens, and I had no problem. Well, the only problems I had was the lenses were bigger, like the sclero lenses. It covered a lot more of your eye, and I don't need glasses or contact lenses, so I'm not used to putting those things in, so it really took a lot to get them in, but once they were in, it was really cool, and I think it really helps the look. But do I spend a whole lot of money on getting the proper fitted ones and not risk my eyeballs, or do I take the risk and buy the cheap ones? I'm not sure. Got Boho Jewel, sorry, Sandra. But hi there. Thank you so much for joining us. Good to see you here. Creative Living's Haley. She's the same. You forget names. That's cool. Just keep reminding me, and I will remember. It's Creative Living's Haley. Creative Living. Amazing baby. Pam, you're only human. Yep. Very much so on the human front. Yes. Right. Yeah. So anyway, that's my ideas. I'm thinking doing the zombie nun thing live, which will put loads of pressure on myself, but deciding whether or not to do lenses. We've got, fingers crossed, the cat head video should be up by Wednesday. Fingers crossed. I haven't quite finished it yet. I've been procrastinating because I have got a ton of orders I'm working through. What else have we got? Some more Etsy from this Ultimate Guide to SEO. I want to talk about the free shipping thing because that has been like the #1 questions. There's petitions going around to stop the free shipping. There's so much happening, so I want to talk about that. But if anyone's got any questions about selling on Etsy, let me know, and hopefully by Friday I could have a video up for answering your questions if there's a load come in. But yeah, I think that'll kind of do it for today. I think I've covered everything I want to. Give you couple of minutes of me being awkward because of the delay, just to make sure if you have any other questions before I sign off. But yeah, I just want to say thank you all so much for joining me. It's been good. It's actually kind of, with summer being gone and stuff, it's kind of a nice way to spend an afternoon chatting to you guys. So I hope you all have an awesome week. If you've got any questions, any things you want, I'm talking with my hands again. Um, if any, I just distracted myself. Yeah, if you've got any questions, anything you want to learn about needle felting, I've got some awesome videos lined up. It's just getting the time for everything. But yeah, Wendy, glad to chat with you too. Sandra, confused about how they track the free shipping. Do you mean tracking on the item, the shipping of it? I don't know, because I'm in the UK, so we don't get the, how do you say it, the, you get, like, you can just print out your shipping labels from Etsy. In the UK we have to go to the post office, but I assume it's not really free shipping. It's coming, you're still paying for it, you know, the seller is still paying for it, so it will be exactly the same shipping as it was. It's just that the buyer doesn't pay for it. Oh, I'm doing a contest, right? Yes, I've heard. um I'm not sure if that's just America. I think it might have been. But yes, they're doing a contest for people who are selling stuff with free shipping. Yeah, so they're just looking at the shops that have free shipping. That's something that the Etsy bot is able to take an account of, and they're just so they're noting that everybody that sells something that has free shipping, that will sort of go into a big virtual hat, and they'll pull some names out for whatever the prizes are. I haven't, I'll look into that. Thank you, good question. I will look into that for video. Should possibly be Tuesday. You can tell how well prepared I am. But yeah, I'll look into that. Thank you. Marissa, did I make a video about the new SEO changes? Yes, I have. I have made a ton of them. I'll try and find the link to the playlist just now without starting playing stuff. But yes, I've been working through quite a few of them. Let's see if I can find it. When you're looking for something quickly, it takes forever. Right, let's just hope it doesn't start playing volume. Yeah, so I have a playlist of a load of videos I've made, which is here. If you just click on that, it takes you to all the videos that I've made of it, and you can search through. If there's anything I've missed, if there's anything you want to know about, let me know, please, and I will try and learn what I can about it and let you guys know. Thankfully, there's Etsy's been really good at answering our questions. If you're really stuck on something, email Etsy support. They're also being fantastic. The people at Etsy Rank and Marmalade, they've been in talks with them to actually keep them as updated as well. And I'm talking to some experts to make sure we know as much as we can. The thing is, they can't tell us everything because they don't want us to game the system. They don't want us to basically, they don't want us to give a step by step and say, if you do this, then you'll get that amount of sales. That's not how it works. But they're trying to help us the best they can so that we can tell them the best that we can what our item is, and they can find the best place to put it. They just don't. So basically, the best SEO, the best thing to, not to panic about all the changes, but just ask yourself, is what you're doing just trying to tell Etsy and trying to tell a customer that your item is what it is? You know, the awesome pictures to show people what your item is, the titles that tell people what your item is, or are you trying to do things to game the system? Are you putting links in place in places just to try and game the system? Are you playing games just to game the system? And that's the thing. If you're doing things that you think are just to game the SEO, then they're going to crack down on things like that. If you're doing things just to make a better customer experience, then you're doing the right thing, pretty much. Do you know much about adding Etsy shopping tags to your Instagram posts? I really don't. Sorry, I will try and learn about that. I am fairly new on Instagram and fairly non-planned at all. Um, so yeah, I'm afraid I have to learn a lot more about Instagram. I think there's limits to how you can tag and link things depending on what level of Instagram account you have, if you're verified or something. I'm not sure. I will learn about that. But Instagram's something that I've not massively focused on. Some people do great on it, but I tend to try and put all my energy into like one or two things. Like Facebook's the platform I'm on the most, so I do the most work there, although to be perfectly honest, Facebook isn't the best for promoting things. Nothing's the best for promoting things to somewhere else. If you want to promote on Etsy, the best place really is on Etsy. I get tons of views from Pinterest, but they're from other people liking my work, finding me on Etsy, and they're people that hang out on Pinterest. The actual work, I do quite a lot of work on Pinterest, but the work I do doesn't bring that much views. What you really need to do is get yourself awesome pictures that other people share, and then you're doing great. Marissa, thank you so much. Yeah, I hope that helps. But yeah, just guys, give me a yell if there's anything that's not clear. I know, because I was I had all the ideas in my head and I was trying to get it all out to you guys so I could tell you what was going on. I'm not sure that everything's as clear as it can be, so if something doesn't quite make sense, just ask me and I'll revisit it. Right, anyway guys, I think that's worked out. I was thinking I was stopping about half an hour ago, so we've managed a pretty cool live stream. Thank you all so much for joining me. It has been fun indeed. Yeah, so just remember, it's Pam Duthie's Felton Friends on Facebook. If you want to chat about anything, join in the conversation. And yeah, I will hopefully see you next week. Thank you all so much.